Ooh, someone just said the Google one. What Google one? He's on the chat roll making stupid comments. So I got infamously got banned from Google the other day.
Who's making stupid
I don't know.
comments?
Someone just said, Chris Cope said that someone's making stupid comments. Which video? Anyway.
Did you post anything?
I posted,
the USD thing?
You know, it's no. I just posted I got banned from Google. Here's what they said.
Right.
That's had 13,000 views in 2 days. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
And the audio is terrible.
Let me see. Or what's the actual?
That's it there.
Oh, that's just you.
Yeah. But Chris is saying that a bunch of people are crapping all over it. Oh my gosh. I can't find it. I'll do it later.
Which people would that be? Pro Google people?
I don't know.
I don't get what that would be.
Yeah, I don't know. I know we're making all of my patrons angry right now because they came here for substance and I'm looking through my feed.
Right.
But anyway. Gosh, man. Anyway.
So did Google pay? Did Google ever pay you? Were they going to pay you?
They had a group at Google who paid for my flight. And when they first invited me, I said no. Because it was originally going to be on their Google Talk platform. It's kind of like their TED Talks. And so I thought, yeah, I'll come. I would love that. That's cool exposure. But then they said no. Google said no. And I think it had to do with the topic, pornography. I mean, most people get pornography through Google, probably.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's
and then I was like, well, I don't want to just come But then I prayed about it, and I felt like I should go. So I said yes. And so I went, and I got settled in my room in San Francisco, and then I got a phone call, and they said, I'm so sorry. Well, first they called me as I got out of the airplane, and they said, people are getting really angry here. This is escalating quickly. I'm like, what's going on? Because, Google's so massive. I think they have like 90,000 employees. I'm like, is this just little stuff? And they said, no, the PR department or whatever had been like, this has gone really high up. And I think what happened is they just banned Steven Crowder recently. And they got backlash from that. You don't tend to think that big companies like Google worry about backlash, but they do.
Right.
So, then they finally said you've been banned because of things you've said in the past. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to talk about this. And this person said his job might be in jeopardy if I do.
Right.
And he's a good Catholic,
Right.
and I'm like, what do I do?
Right.
So I didn't want to throw him under the bus. So I said, well, get me an official statement. And it took them 2 days to formulate an email to me. That's how careful they were.
Right. And that's what I saw.
Yeah. They linked to that Twitter thread.
Yeah.
And what was gosh, can you imagine if it was like, all I said was, I think homosexual acts are disordered, but you don't have to agree with me on that to agree that our lives would be better without pornography.
Right.
How tame. And yet I got banned.
See, that's what I mean. That's the interesting thing. They know, at the end of the day, they know, even if you say you don't have to agree with me, they're like, well, we know you're not Hitler. We know you're not trying to enforce this, but we don't like that you don't the left doesn't think like that. They're just like, they're demonic.
You must agree with us.
You must agree with us or you're a toad and we will eradicate you. So it doesn't, it's better. That's where I'm like, it's obvious. You already know this. That's the interesting difference between our two approaches. Like, it. You're going to ban me in 5 seconds or whatever, so I'm going to get this out so you can hear it before you ban me or whatever. You know it's wrong. You say you believe in science, though, and the teleology, the goal of sex is procreation. Every sexual organ has a discrete function. Why does everything south of the old grundle not have a function there, bro? And then they're like, okay, well, don't talk to that. And I'm like, okay, cool. Now I can make it look like, because this is what you're doing, that you're censoring me because I'm saying too much truth. Whereas... I don't know. That's basically what they did.
Especially when I say it in such an uninflammatory way. I'm not targeting anyone in particular, and yet it's too offensive.
And yet they're still
You can't
threatened.
Question secular dogma. You will be eradicated.
It is a church.
Which does lead me to think, like, how long do I have this YouTube channel for? Do you think?
How long do you think? It's limited.
I don't know. It's a good question. Like, I don't know how long I have a Patreon account for. I don't know until they ban me. Part of me hopes that I'm being more skeptical than I need to be, and that, just like I said, like Google got all that feedback after Steven Crowder went down. They got a lot of flack for it. That maybe there'll be this balancing out where they realize it's to their advantage to keep the lines of communication open. But Amazon just cut a lot of books that talk about therapy for those with same-sex attraction, who don't want to have same-sex attraction. They just took them all off. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I think I'd heard a glancing.
I've heard about this from a number of people.
Someone made a comment about it.
They were gone. Yeah.
They assumed I knew. Yeah, the days feel limited, numbered, don't they?
They do.
But I mean, what would you do? I'm just curious. So would you just go to your own? You have your own website, so can't you just put content on a site?
Yeah, I could put content on a site, but the reason I can afford the studio and afford all these things is because of Patreon.
Isn't there an alternative?
There's one called Subscribestar. They allow porn and everything on that one, so that makes me feel a little gross.
Yeah.
You know, I might go to it if I have to.
Yeah. Might have to go to the porn if you have.
Yeah, no, like things get really bad. Yeah. He's the porn guy. Yeah, I know. No, it's different now.
No.
He's the porn guy.
He was the unporn guy. Now he's the porn guy.
Yeah. Yes, I don't know what I'll do. I've got like 1,250 patrons right now, and we hire like 6 people or 7 people a month now who we're kind of paying monthly to kind of get all this stuff going.
That's wild.
Yeah, and it's not full time. These are all kind of independent people who do different things. So everything would have to be cut. Matt Fradd Show would have to be cut. I do pints. I would have to invite people to send me a check maybe or start. Because I'm also on Stripe, which is a way you can kind of give over the line. But when does Stripe cut you? I don't know. I don't mean to get to...
No. Well, I mean, because I'm thinking about it for myself.
Yeah.
Like, you've been in the game a long time. A lot of people would probably still be willing to give you a check. They might give you a bigger check if you got cut because they're pissed, righteously.
Honestly, I kind of think that. I'm like, okay, Patreon, come at me. And I'll let the world know what you did, and I'll invite people to support me through some other means.
Yeah.
And I think that people would be like, that sucks. I'll give you $10 a month, or I'll give you a $100 check or something.
It's incentive.
But then if they don't, I don't know what I'll do. I think right now I'm just trying to pay my house off as quickly as possible, pay our medical bills off from Cameron and all that. And then maybe
from the septic thing, sepsis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we'll just kind of, buy a smaller house and just live off the grid.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting.
What about you?
Well, I don't know. This is
all being recorded.
This is?
Yeah. This is for the Patreon thing, so it'll be private among patrons.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, I'm curious. I don't know. The deplatforming thing and the demonetization thing, which I guess is distinguishable, has everyone scared. That makes, a part of a living at least doing this. So I'm looking into right now the best ways to release video content. I mean, this is really high quality. This is beautiful. Or this part is.
Yeah,
the rest
you don't want to see over that way.
But it's awesome.
That's windshield? That's a kite over there. Why is there a kite over there?
You always keep one kite in the studio.
It's unnecessary.
You call yourself a professional.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I wonder how hard it would be to think of what Taylor and I do, just releasing a video. It can be pretty low budget.
Yeah, but you guys are cranking out content constantly.
Right.
You guys do a good job.
Right. Thanks. But I mean, so if that couldn't go on YouTube, there are other channels where it could go, but they're not big ones that suggest you the way YouTube does really aggressively. So I honestly don't know.
Because you don't want to waste a bunch of time trying to build a separate platform for when this one turns on you, and then it never turns on you.
Exactly.
You want to use your time efficiently and wise.
Exactly.
Wisely.
So I don't know what to do. Yeah. I think a lot of conservatives, I don't know what to do. I don't know what...
Is Milo off YouTube? Is he banned from YouTube, or is he back on?
Oh, yeah, no, he's totally off.
Because I thought they banned Gavin McGinnis, but he's back on.
He's back on, and sometimes Milo goes on with him. But I don't know how they can ban him appearing in someone else's show. Yeah, Milo's off like everything, obviously. Like, they banned him from Twitter, they banned him from Facebook. I don't know, man. And some people say this is all just in the run up to the election, and then after that, it'll ease off.
Wow.
That
makes sense.
It does. They're silencing the opposition. This is what the left does.
I wonder what the Daily Wire go through. Like,
I don't know.
Behind closed doors, I wonder what they'd say is going on.
Yeah.
They must be being attacked.
They have to be. Yeah, I don't know. Because do they release stuff on YouTube? Pretty much everyone releases.
It's all over YouTube. They've got hundreds of thousands of followers, maybe more.
Wow, on YouTube.
Yep.
But can't you just put like a video on, like he does a show kind of like this. Can't you just put it on your page?
You can, but I mean, YouTube is the medium. It's where everyone hangs out and then sees content.
Yeah.
It's the difference between having a store and expecting people to come to you and then taking your food and going out to the masses and saying, would you like to buy one of these?
Right.
And obviously you make a lot more and gain a lot more attention through the second way.
But someone like Pat Coffin has got his own store. I mean, you have to build it from the ground up, but if you do a subscribership, right, that's not a Patreon subscribership, but
he's
it's
probably on safer ground than me, for sure.
I think he's on safer ground than everyone, and he just knew it was going to be slow.
But then who's the platform? And when does that platform turn on him? It's not like he built the platform from scratch. He's using some platform, probably. Even if it's just based on WordPress or some other...
Do they do that? I mean, I think it's mainly these...
Do they do that? That's a good question. I think eventually...
You think WordPress?
I kind of feel like Google and Facebook, they're all kind of beginning to do it. And then when it becomes more acceptable, maybe these other little smaller companies will.
Oh, dude, it's so demonic. And the weird thing is this. How did all of these Fortune 500 companies get... See, when this is happening through the so-called free market, this censorship, it makes a really interesting point you don't want to miss. When censorship happens through Stalin or Mao, just censoring Big Bang Theory and quantum mechanics because they prove Catholicism's true, which both of them basically do, and both Stalin and Mao said as much.
Really?
Yeah. Interesting. You talk about Big Bang Theory or quantum mechanics, off with your head.
Wow.
When you do it through a figurehead like Uncle Joe or whatever his name is, Stalin, Mao, it's easy because it's just you snap your hands and you're the Queen of Hearts. Anyone that disobeys, off with their heads. That's not difficult to understand. What's difficult to understand that makes this seem really like a constellation of seriously devilish is how did all this happen over the last 5 to 10 years with all the companies? It's a bizarre collusion.
They all are right there in Northern California, the Silicon Valley, the majority of them. It's like they all think the same and have the same worldview.
True, but there's a difference between a kind of collusion of people that think the same, have the same worldview, hang out at the same douchey dinner parties, and the total hermetically sealed, tight clubbiness of it. That is, they have almost as tight a system of shutting down free speech. They're getting one almost as if it's a Stalinist regime. It makes you think about the interaction of demonic forces in the world. I mean, really, because this has all happened so quickly. The free speech stuff through free market mechanisms has happened really quickly, and the transgender stuff made me think similar lines. That was just all of a sudden, everyone was talking with Bruce Jenner. It was like
Satan was making a home run, and he went for it.
Go for it.
Yeah, it is weird, eh? It's I had this analogy, like talking with I don't know what you want to call it, the left, the godless part of our society. It's kind of like talking with someone that you gradually become aware of is intoxicated. So you meet someone outside of a bar, like, hey, how you doing, man? And he talks to you, and he does a twitch or something, like, what the fuck? And you keep talking, and he says something that's kind of weird. You're like, and eventually, like, oh, you're drunk.
You're that.
And I kind of feel like it's been like that in our society. It's like this gradual insanity, right? Where it's like, well, I mean, women should be able to vote. Well, okay, great, good. That might not be a good example, right? But
no, it's like that. You're like, cool.
Things like that.
That's fine. Yeah.
And then, like, we should be able to kill our children. Whoa, that seems super not cool.
Yeah.
Also, men are women, and men don't necessarily have penises. Right. Women can have them.
Right.
And you're like, you're batshit crazy.
Yeah.
I gotta go. I really gotta go.
That's a very good analogy, by the way. Yeah, because it really is like that, and everyone that's ever been at a bar is like that. We're like, this dude seems kind of like me, like he's just starting to drink, and then you're sipping, and then and then you get a weird tick or slur, and you're like, oh shit, this guy's been here all day, and he's just kind of good at masking it. That's what it was with.
Yes.
It's very strange that you said that, because I was just talking with my brother-in-law, who's a self-professed liberal. But I'm like, so I hadn't seen him in a couple years before this trip. And he was like, yeah, man, a lot of my friends that are left of center have all reacted the same way to the tranny stuff.
Really?
As me. Like the left overshot its mark. It is great. Like their eyes were bigger than their stomach.
Yeah.
They got greedy with the tranny stuff, because it was like, okay, they'd been working, because I watch 90s TV shows. I watch Frasier and Seinfeld. You can see the homo lobby was
pushing
there.
Stuff then.
There's
but
some
it was in the background.
It's in the background. But I mean, that's just like whatever. But then all of a sudden it was like 2010, 12. They got real aggressive. And then like 13, 14, it's like, yeah. And also like, don't you want to wear a dress? And don't you want to date a dude that's like had a whatever surgery to remove their privates? It's like
gouge a hole in them.
Yeah, gouge a hole.
No.
It's like no, that's not normal. And the left, that became the defining issue for the left. And then you're just like, wow, you are really, really stinking drunk. You know, to use your it's a great analogy.
Feel free to use it, steal it. Yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah, and kill our children, right? Like, this is just what it means to be left. Like, women should have reproductive rights. And then if you were like an alien come down to Earth, you'd be like, yeah, I mean, it sounds kind of good. What is that? Then they'd be like, oh, that means just you take your baby and you like jab it in the brain and kill it.
Suck it out.
Well, that's horrible.
Whoa.
They're like, no, that's a good thing. We're saying that's the team now. We're saying that that's good. You're like,
yeah, y'all are crazy. Y'all that needed to be invaded long ago, said the aliens.
Exactly. Yeah, it's wild. So I don't know what's going to happen, but hopefully we're just close to the end. And I mean, I'm not a tinfoil hat person, so I'm not. I claim no certainty or even.
What was it? John Paul II talked about the final confrontation between the what do you say? The gospel, the anti-gospel, the Christ and the antichrist.
Right, at Fatima. Right? When he released it. Well, he was,
okay.
Well, that's a weird part about the third secret of Fatima is he's claiming something very similar to that. I thought that's what you're explicitly...
Maybe I am. I've only heard it from Ralph Martin, who I love to read. I haven't actually heard it specifically from him or read it in a particular document.
Yeah, Ralph Martin's the man. So is James Martin also.
He is also a man.
Neck and neck.
When I started this show...
He's amazing.
Someone had a suggestion. They were like... They're like, hey, you should call it the Father James Martin Show, but just every time you begin, just come up with increasingly ridiculous reasons for why he couldn't make it today. And just never say anything. Hi, welcome to the James Martin Show. I'm Matt Fradd. James Martin couldn't be here today, which is super appropriate. Like, what are you doing? And just never explain that it's a joke.
That would be an amazing trope. I mean, that would probably work because once people got it, they like to be in on a joke. Like, yeah, and just literally like...
I wouldn't want to make fun of him like that.
I would.
I know. You can start your own show.
Yeah,
you can do that.
And it will be called not the Tim Gordon Show, but the James Martin Show. Yeah.
Awesome, dude. Well, this has been great. Thank you so much for doing it. I really do appreciate it. I know it's a big chunk of your day, so thank you.
It's been great fun. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right. God bless you.
Yeah, you too.
I'm so white. Yes, give me a fist pump, even with my little Aussie accent.